I never imagined a single wig could change everything. I mean, it started as a joke, just a silly little thing to make Emma laugh, but somehow, it spun out of control, leaving me trapped in a reality I wasn't ready for. My name is Ryan, and I've always been the normal guy in my friend group. Slightly awkward, not exactly athletic, a bit of a nerd, but hey, I managed to get by. Or, at least I thought I did. I live in a small two-bedroom apartment downtown, a cozy space Emma and I share. Our life is simple, but comfortable. Emma's the vibrant, outgoing type, confident, magnetic, always dressed like she stepped out of a fashion magazine. She has this energy that makes everyone notice her, and somehow, she's mine. Sometimes I feel lucky, sometimes completely overwhelmed, especially when she drags me into her world of social events, parties, and spontaneous adventures. I've always had a secret one I barely admit to myself. I'm curious about crossdressing. Not in a constant, obsessive way, more like a private fascination, a thrill I indulge when I'm alone. It's a mix of experimentation and escape, a chance to step into someone else's shoes, literally and figuratively. I'd played around with makeup, tried on my sister's old skirts, even slipped into some of Emma's dresses when she wasn't around. But I always convinced myself it was harmless, just a silly fantasy, nothing serious. The apartment smelled faintly of Emma's vanilla candles that evening. She had left to meet some friends for dinner, and I was alone, scrolling through TikTok videos as I half-heartedly ate some takeout. My eyes landed on a makeup challenge, someone transforming with just a wig and some eyeliner. A silly thought hit me. What if I tried that? Just for fun. She'd see it, laugh, and we'd move on. I never expected it to feel different. The wig I picked was long, chestnut brown, silky smooth, completely unlike my messy short hair. I plopped it onto my head, adjusted it a few times, and stared at the reflection in our full-length mirror. At first, I laughed. I looked ridiculous. My jawline was softer, my eyes somehow seemed larger, more expressive. And then something shifted. I kept turning my head, examining the reflection from every angle. The laugh faded. My heart started racing. I tried a little makeup, just a dab of foundation, some eyeliner, nothing fancy. But as I blended it carefully, I noticed a strange thrill I hadn't expected. The mirror wasn't showing me Ryan anymore. It was showing someone else, someone delicate, confident, someone I almost wanted to be. My pulse quickened. I had no idea it could feel this intense, this real. For a moment I froze. Should I take it off? Should I laugh it off, like I planned? But curiosity kept me rooted to the spot. I adjusted the wig, experimented with different angles, traced my cheekbones with my fingers, and even practiced a smile. I didn't recognize myself. And strangely, that didn't scare me. It excited me. Emma's laughter echoed in my memory, teasing me when I joked about crossdressing before. I could picture her reactions if she walked in right now. Would she find it funny, charming, or something else? My mind raced. I felt exposed, yet undeniably thrilled. It wasn't just the wig. I slipped into one of Emma's soft sweaters, paired it with leggings that hugged my legs in a way I'd never noticed before. I examined the effect in the mirror. My posture shifted instinctively. I was taller, more poised. I ran my fingers through the wig again, laughing nervously at how different I felt. This wasn't the Ryan who spent hours gaming in his room or stumbled over words in social situations. This was someone else, yet undeniably me. I glanced at the clock. Emma would be back soon. Panic and excitement collided in my chest. Part of me wanted to run, take it all off before she returned, laugh it off, pretend nothing happened. But another part, an adventurous, reckless part, whispered that maybe I shouldn't. Maybe this moment, silly as it started, was something I needed to explore. My phone buzzed with a notification. Emma was on her way. My heart pounded. I barely had time to think. I touched the wig, straightened the sweater, and took a deep breath. If she walked in right now, she'd see me, Ryan, but not really. And for the first time in my life, I didn't feel like hiding. As I heard the faint sound of the elevator in the hallway, I froze. What was I about to do? Was this just a joke, Or had I stepped into a world I couldn't step back from?
I didn't know yet.
But I did know one thing. Nothing would ever feel the same again. I couldn't stop staring at myself in the mirror. What began as a joke, just a wig and a bit of eyeliner, had spun into something intoxicating. My reflection didn't look like Ryan. It looked like someone else. Softer, prettier, more alive. My pulse raced, and a nervous laugh escaped me. I had to admit it, I was thrilled. Scared, yes, but thrilled. I ran my hands along the wig again, feeling its silky strands slip between my fingers. I experimented with a few poses, tilting my head, adjusting my shoulders. Something about the way my reflection looked back at me made me shiver. I wasn't just pretending anymore. For these moments, I was her. Emma's clothes lay scattered in the bedroom from the last time she'd tried on outfits. My eyes fell on a black skirt with subtle lace at the hem. Tentatively, I picked it up and held it against my waist. My heart skipped a beat. Could I really? One quick glance around the apartment to make sure no one was coming, and I slipped into the skirt. The soft fabric hugged me in ways I didn't expect, and I caught myself smoothing it down nervously, almost instinctively. Next came the sweater. It was oversized, a soft blush pink that smelled faintly of Emma's perfume. Sliding it over my head, I felt a strange sense of comfort and vulnerability all at once. The combination of the wig, skirt, and sweater transformed me in more than just appearance. It shifted my posture, my expression, even my voice when I whispered to myself in the mirror. "You look different," I said, my voice catching. "Gorgeous." I practiced walking around the room. The leggings and soft heels I borrowed from Emma forced me to move differently. Each step felt unfamiliar, yet exhilarating. I kept glancing at the mirror, seeing a side of myself I never knew existed. I felt exposed, but in a way that excited me rather than scared me. This was the thrill I had always craved, tucked away in secret moments. And yet, the anxiety gnawed at the edges. What if Emma walked in? Would she laugh? Be disgusted? Or worse, judge me? I shook my head, trying to banish the thought. No, I told myself. I could enjoy this while she was out. I had a little time before reality came back. Curiosity pushed me further. I rummaged through her makeup bag, letting my fingers hover over foundations, lipsticks, and eyeshadows. My heart pounded with a mixture of excitement and terror as I chose a soft pink lipstick. Applying it, I marveled at how it changed my expression, how it made my smile seem brighter, my lips softer. I added a touch of mascara and a hint of blush. The transformation was almost magical. The mirror became my confessional. I experimented with expressions: coy, playful, confident, shy. Each angle showed me a different version of myself. I caught myself imagining what it would feel like to walk down the street like this, to see the reactions of strangers, the glances and whispers that would follow. My pulse quickened at the thought. And yet, the suspense lingered. I kept hearing footsteps in my mind, imagining Emma returning early, opening the door, and catching me in the middle of this version of me that I had never shown anyone. I could almost hear her voice. "Ryan, what are you doing?" My stomach twisted. Panic mixed with excitement. This danger, this secret thrill, was intoxicating. I paced the room, my heels clicking softly against the wooden floor. I experimented with my voice, whispering my own name, hearing it sound delicate, melodic, unfamiliar. I felt a strange dichotomy. Part of me reveled in this, while another part wanted to run, tear everything off, and pretend none of it had happened. Hours passed, or maybe minutes. Time seemed distorted. I practiced different hairstyles with the wig, curling it gently, brushing it until it gleamed. I examined every detail in the mirror. The way the fabric clung to my curves, the subtle shimmer of makeup on my cheeks, the soft bounce of hair against my shoulders. I couldn't believe it. I looked beautiful, gorgeous even, and the thought sent shivers down my spine. Then the real suspense began. The phone buzzed. A notification from Emma. Running late. Don't wait up. My heart sank a little, but another part of me soared. I had more time. Time to explore, time to fully become her, or at least this version of myself. I walked around the apartment, trying different poses, sitting delicately on the couch, adjusting my posture, letting the thrill of transformation wash over me. And that's when it happened. A knock on the door. My stomach dropped. Who could it be? I hadn't ordered anything, no friends were coming. My mind raced. I tiptoed to the peephole and peeked. It was our neighbor, Mrs. Linton, holding a package. Relief mixed with panic as I realized the wig and skirt made me look different. I opened the door just enough to take the package, trying to hide the transformation as best as I could, my voice higher than usual, soft, tentative. "Thank you," I whispered, heart racing. Mrs. Linton smiled, giving me a curious glance, but said nothing and left. I closed the door, exhaling shakily. That close call sent my adrenaline soaring. I realized just how dangerous it could feel to live in this secret persona, how fragile the illusion was. Every knock, every unexpected visitor, threatened to unravel the delicate fantasy I had created. I returned to the mirror, taking a long, careful look at myself. The thrill of transformation battled with a creeping fear. This wasn't just about a wig anymore. It was about identity, about exploring a side of me I had never allowed to exist publicly. Could I keep this up? Could I manage the risk of being seen, being judged, being caught? And then the excitement returned. I caught myself laughing softly, twirling in the skirt, watching it flare with each movement. I adjusted the wig again, letting the curls cascade down my shoulders. I applied a little more mascara, feeling the magic intensify with each touch. I was someone else, yet undeniably me, and I didn't want to stop. Time slipped away. The suspense was constant, threaded with thrill, fear, and desire. Every sound outside, every vibration from the phone, every creak in the apartment made me tense, aware of how close I was to being discovered. But I couldn't bring myself to undo it all. Not yet. I was addicted to the feeling of being admired, to the sense of power that came with this transformation. By the time Emma finally messaged that she was just 15 minutes away, I was trembling, excited and terrified in equal measure. Should I hide? Should I change back quickly? Or should I see what would happen if she walked in like this? The decision loomed over me, heightening the suspense to an almost unbearable level. I looked at the mirror one last time before her arrival. The girl staring back at me was beautiful, confident, radiant. And I knew, with a sinking thrill, that nothing would ever feel the same again. I had stepped into a world of transformation, risk, and desire, and there was no going back. The moment Emma's key turned in the lock, my heart jumped into my throat. I froze, every muscle taut, as the door swung open. There she was, her bright smile, her eyes sparkling as she stepped inside, and in an instant, I realized she was going to see me like this. Not Ryan, not her boyfriend, but her, or at least this version of me I had created. Emma paused, eyebrows raised, staring at the reflection of the wig, the skirt, the soft blush on my cheeks. My lips parted, ready to speak, but no sound came out. I felt the adrenaline surge through me, like electricity in my veins, every nerve screaming. Part of me wanted to run, rip off the wig, throw off the skirt, hide everything. Another part, the daring, reckless part, wanted to hold my ground, let her see the transformation fully. Her gaze flicked from my face to the outfit, then back. "Ryan?" she whispered, confusion mingling with amusement. My pulse thumped so loudly, I was sure she could hear it. Hi," I managed, my voice higher than usual. I pressed my hands to the skirt, adjusting it nervously. My fingers trembled, betraying my composure. Emma tilted her head, a mischievous smile playing on her lips. "You're gorgeous," she said, softly, almost breathless. My jaw dropped. I had expected judgment, laughter, maybe even anger, but not this. The word gorgeous echoed in my mind, a mix of shock and thrill coursing through me. Before I could respond, the doorbell rang again. My stomach lurched. Who else could it be now? Emma frowned and went to answer it, leaving me standing there, frozen and vulnerable. I glanced at the mirror, seeing myself fully reflected, the wig perfectly framing my face, the skirt clinging in all the right places, my makeup flawless. And then, disaster. A strand of the wig slipped across my forehead. I reached to fix it, but my hands shook too much. I tried to reposition it, feeling the panic rise. The door opened and the neighbor, Mrs. Linton, stepped in without warning, holding a large package. Her eyes widened for a fraction of a second, taking in the image of me standing there. "Oh, hello," she said hesitantly. My heart raced. The wig slipped further. My cheeks burned. I tried to smile, but it was awkward, unsure, and I felt every ounce of vulnerability flood me. Emma turned at that moment, her expression a mix of surprise and curiosity. "What's going on?" she asked, voice cautious. My mind raced. Could I explain this without sounding ridiculous? Should I pretend it's a joke? Or should I just embrace it? Mrs. Linton handed the package over, mumbling something about deliveries. As she left, I exhaled shakily, relieved but tense. That near discovery had escalated everything. I realized just how thin the line was between thrill and exposure. One misstep, and my secret persona could be revealed, forever changing my relationship with Emma and the people around me. Emma walked closer, her eyes studying me intently. "You really look different," she said. Her voice was soft, almost reverent. My heart thumped wildly. I mean, in a wow kind of way. I laughed nervously, brushing at the wig again, feeling the strands slip. "It was just for fun," I admitted, my voice wavering. "I didn't think it would look like this." Her smile widened. "Fun?" she asked, teasing. "Ryan, this isn't just fun. You're stunning." My pulse quickened at her words, every syllable fueling both thrill and fear. Could she really see me like this and still accept me? Just as I relaxed slightly, my phone buzzed with a video call. I froze. The screen lit up. It was my colleague, Mark, a guy I barely knew well but worked closely with. Emma glanced at the screen, frowning. "Oh," she murmured. My stomach sank. Mark's call was brief, but it raised another horrifying possibility. What if someone saw me like this outside of Emma's approval? My private, thrilling transformation could become public in an instant. Panic surged, sweat pricking my forehead. I barely managed a wave and ended the call, my hands shaking. I turned back to Emma, trying to compose myself. I need to explain," I said, voice trembling. She nodded, crossing her arms, leaning against the wall. I took a deep breath and described my curiosity, the wig, the makeup, the thrill. My confession was rapid, breathless, vulnerable. Every word felt like I was stripping away the safety of my old identity. Emma's reaction was calm, but intense. She didn't laugh, didn't scold. Instead, she stepped closer, her eyes holding mine. "I get it," she said softly. "I really do. But Ryan, this isn't just about trying something fun. It's about you exploring a side of yourself you've hidden. And seeing you like this, it's amazing." Relief and terror collided in me. Part of me wanted to collapse in her arms. Another part, still shivering with fear, worried about the implications. Could I really live like this? Could I handle the attention, the curiosity, the potential judgment? Then came the final obstacle, a text from my boss, asking if I could cover a last-minute meeting via video call. My heart skipped. I hadn't planned for this. My appearance, my transformation, wasn't just a secret from Emma anymore. It could be exposed to the professional world. The panic surged, and I felt paralyzed. What if the call started? What if Mark or someone else saw me like this? Emma stepped forward, taking my hands in hers. "We'll figure it out," she said, her voice steady, reassuring. "But you need to decide, do you want to hide this side of yourself, or do you want to see where it takes you?" Her words hit me like lightning. I realized the thrill of transformation was more than just curiosity. It was identity, exploration, and revelation. And now I had to choose. Hide it and return to my old life, or embrace it fully, knowing the risks and rewards. As I adjusted the wig, straightened the skirt, and looked in the mirror one last time, I saw a version of myself that I couldn't ignore. Beautiful, confident, daring, and undeniably real. And just as Emma leaned close, brushing a strand of hair from my face, the doorbell rang again. I froze. My heart pounded. Who could it be this time? Every second felt like an eternity. The thrill, the fear, the excitement, all collided into one sharp, electric moment. My secret self teetered on the edge of exposure, and I knew, without a doubt, that everything was about to change. The doorbell rang again, louder this time, echoing through the apartment. My heart leapt into my throat. Every muscle in my body tensed. Who could it be now? Emma's eyes flicked toward me, a hint of curiosity and mischief dancing in them. "I'll get it," she said, her tone light but cautious. I nodded, gripping the edge of the counter to steady myself. My legs felt like jelly. The wig shifted slightly as I turned to watch her, my reflection in the mirror suddenly unfamiliar and fragile. Emma opened the door, revealing no one. Just a package left on the mat. My relief was immediate but fleeting. The adrenaline still coursed through me, sharp and electric. I realized, with a sinking thrill, that my secret persona was precarious. One wrong move, one knock, one unexpected visitor, and everything could be exposed. I looked back at the mirror. The reflection staring at me wasn't just a playful experiment anymore. It was me, or rather, her, the version of me that I had never allowed to exist in the light of day. And now, I couldn't ignore the truth. I was hooked. The thrill of being seen this way, the power of transformation, the excitement of danger, it had captured me completely. Emma walked over, her hand brushing against mine. "Ryan, are you okay?" she asked softly, her voice grounding me. I nodded, but my mind was racing. What would happen if someone else walked in? What if Mark called again? Or the neighbors noticed? Or worse, what if my playful experiment spiraled beyond control? I barely managed to keep my composure as I straightened the wig and smoothed the skirt. Every tiny movement felt magnified, every glance at the mirror revealing more than I intended. My pulse pounded in my ears. I was alive in a way I hadn't felt before. Vulnerable, exposed, and intoxicatingly free all at once. And then, I heard it. A faint sound from the hallway, a step, deliberate, slow. My breath caught. Emma glanced toward the door, her smile fading. My mind raced. Who could it be? My heart thudded violently against my ribcage. The doorknob rattled. My entire body froze. I reached for Emma's hand, gripping it tightly, seeking reassurance. But the sound, the single, quiet, but deliberate rattle, was enough to send my imagination spiraling. I felt my pulse in my fingertips, felt the wig against my scalp like a fragile crown, felt the soft fabric of the skirt hugging me as if it were both a shield and a trap. The reflection in the mirror was no longer playful or experimental. It was tense, alert, almost pleading. My secret self, the one I had dared to reveal, was standing on the edge of being discovered. Emma whispered my name. "Ryan?" But I couldn't respond. I couldn't move. I could only stare at the door, feeling the suspense wrap around me like a vice. My mind raced through every possibility. A neighbor, a friend, the delivery guy, someone who might see this version of me and change everything forever. The knob turned slightly. My breath hitched. Every nerve screamed. I wanted to scream, laugh, cry, run, and stay, all at once. I realized, with a mix of terror and exhilaration, that nothing could prepare me for what would happen next. Emma's hand squeezed mine. "Whatever happens," she whispered, her voice calm but serious, "we'll face it together." The door creaked open just a fraction more. Shadows fell across the floor. The apartment felt impossibly small, impossibly vulnerable. And in that suspended moment, with my wig slightly askew, skirt hugging me tight, makeup accentuating features I had only begun to explore, I understood something terrifying and thrilling. The next second would decide everything. Would I be exposed? Would Emma accept me fully? Would the world outside see me this way? Or had I stepped too far, creating a secret too potent to control? I swallowed hard. My reflection in the mirror was radiant, defiant, trembling, me, yet not me. And as the shadow outside the door grew clearer, I realized that my life, my identity, my thrilling secret was about to collide with reality in a way I had never imagined. And then, silence. The screen would fade here, leaving viewers on the edge of their seats, hearts racing, desperate to know who is at the door. What will happen to Ryan's secret persona? How will Emma react when the moment of truth arrives? This is where the story ends for now.